So you have this gift to be able to communicate with people that are somewhere in the afterlife. When people are in that grieving state, what are some things that you can share with us about grief, either your own grief journey or, even up until you got to that part of your life, like, did you shift in your own grief journey?
Big time. Yeah. And grief is such an intriguing emotion, which
Yeah.
I refer to all emotions as just energy, right? It's an
Yeah.
energy that moves through us. And it's a powerful one, if not the most powerful. What I've come to learn now is that grief is the most potent transformational energy that can
Mm.
run through someone's body. And we're not taught that because grief is something we all want to avoid.
Right.
No one in their
The
right mind
worst.
says, gosh, I hope that something really terrible happens so that I can transform. No
Right.
one in their right mind. I would still not say that. I know that it does, but I wouldn't ask for it.
Yeah.
But the intensity of grief really opens up a real big potential for transformation because when we're deep into grieving, whether that's from a loss of a loved one through death or a loss of a sense of identity from losing a job or a relationship or all sorts of ways we can define loss, when we have that, it shakes us up and forces us to ask questions. It
Mm.
forces us to get really, unfortunately, real with ourselves
Hmm.
and to really see and ask, where am I suffering? And
Mm.
where do I no longer want to tolerate suffering because I have this other suffering going on? So it
Mm.
really does create such a transformational force. It's just a time.
I love how you just said that. So it's almost like I need to prioritize what's terrible in my life. And
Yes.
I only have, space for this terrible thing that I just lost. And you know what? All that other stuff I need to maybe set some boundaries around or not allow in my life anymore. That's a
Yes.
really cool side effect or benefit of going through the grieving process.
It is. And I think it really needs to be highlighted so we
Mm.
can normalize it and we can really, put our attention there as well. Because a lot of times when, we have friends and family that fall away in a grief
Yeah.
time, right? But that's okay. That means that it's time for that to sort of fall away. So we open up ourselves to something new and more.
Mhm.
So maybe, it would maybe lessen some guilt that
Mhm.
comes for the grieving of or anger for when people aren't as supportive because they can't be or whatever the reasons are.
Mm.
It opens the doorway for allowing things to be okay and still setting those boundaries.